And we're live on the interwebs.
Hey.
Hello.
Hello,
Hello
Internet.
everyone. And hello, Internet. Well, hello, future us's watching this back to figure out what we did.
Someone, as when I was saying goodbye to my old work peeps, someone said they've been lurking in our chat. So if you're watching, hey, I never got your Twitch name.
Sneaky. Sneaky. So yeah, welcome everyone. Thanks for joining me to play tonight. We left off the intrepid adventurers sailing across the dark lake, where they had been navigating through ever more narrow corridors between huge stalagmites. I always get them the wrong way around. Stalagmites, yes, going upwards, coming out of the dark lake. And although they managed to avoid much of the narrow passages, they unfortunately got caught in a trap where some goblins had taken advantage of some spider webs between the rocks. The ship had become caught and a fight had ensued, where I think, to be frank, you made relatively light work of them. And as you cleared the webs, freed the ship, and began to sail, you saw off in the distance the red glow of a city, the distant sounds of metal on metal, and the smell of acrid smoke from furnaces. So you find yourselves upon your ship, approaching Gracklstugh, or so you would believe. So over to you. I would just like to say as well, for those watching and for my players, that some of the themes in Out of the Abyss follow a plot that looks at the concepts of sort of mental health and the mind. And I just wanted to give people a bit of a heads up on that. I will try and do it responsibly and sensitively, but appreciate it is D&D and it's very dumbed down and probably not very realistic. But I just wanted to warn everyone. So yes, you find yourself on your ship. I don't know if it's got a name. I'm not sure if you've named it, but heading towards the city. What would you like to do?
But do you want to figure out what we're going to do once we're in the city?
Yes. Did we ever actually come up with a plan as to what we were going to be doing here?
We need to find somewhere to stay, find somewhere to resupply, and
You're
then
muted, Hazel, as well. So.
we never know what we might find in the city that might take our interest.
Don't one of our travelling companions want to go here? And also, wasn't there some ruins that we were going to go to investigate?
Yes, they were. They were nearby, weren't they?
Unfortunately, I think the person who knew the most about them is no longer with us.
I have the thing he took from the ruins when he found the entrance, and I have a weird metal plate thing, don't I?
You
I
do.
think. Yeah. Whatever good this is.
Keeping a low profile then. Have intention.
Well, I think that's probably best, given that, well, the background of some of us.
I don't know how welcome some of us will be in a mostly Duergar settlement either.
Now, I'm technically Duergar. I just don't look the part as much.
I may have just knocked over a can of Coke on my keyboard, so I'm going to be right back.
Eldith will be standing on deck, and as Rain says that. Are you saying that they have a problem in Gracklstugh for anyone that's not a Duergar or a full Duergar?
You know what I like.
Well, not really, no.
I think it's best keep to yourself. And try to seem polite and give big tips.
Big tips. Right, okay.
Would they not potentially see that as bargaining, which I know is an offence?
You don't ask for anything.
Or bribery?
Okay, if you don't ask for anything, it's just
To just hand out money as a kind gesture?
no. I just say, don't make it seem like you're trying to screw them out of money. Whatever they ask you, just pay what they ask. Because if you try to pay less, they're gonna think you're insulting their whatever. I like to take things personally, in my experience.
Sounds like you paid less than you should have for something. Or stole something. But yes, you're right. It sounds like a city with a lot of rules which we should make sure we are aware of and, well, obey.
I have no intention of breaking any laws. But what is our ultimate goal in this city? I still very much would like to return to Grackltugh. I don't know about you all, where your final destinations are.
I think everyone wants to get where they're going, so if those people focus on maybe finding a crew for our ship and resupplying, I did want to take a look around. It's a city of, from what I know, great invention and skill, and I was particularly interested in taking a look around.
Well, I do know from my travels that Duergar armor and weapons is renowned for its quality, if not its artistry. They're not very fond of flourishes, shall we say. I don't know if that's true, though.
I think we would also want to not draw attention to ourselves. Would it be strange for us to walk around together? Because obviously, safety in numbers, but wondering if that might draw the wrong kind of attention.
I think it might be a little difficult not to draw attention. Do the Duergar have any sort of... They don't like the Drows, so if we were honest and said that we were escaped from a Drow prison for not committing any crimes, would they sort of see that as heroic?
Even if you are imprisoned and you escape, the escape itself would be seen as an offence.
Good point.
I mean, I do know that Duergar are renowned for following the letter of the law. Whether that flows over into other people's laws, I do not know. But they value lawfulness very highly.
You shouldn't risk it then.
No.
Just a unlikely band of travellers?
Well, I'm sure they don't get many surface folk down here. Drow are probably. They probably get traders from Drow cities, I imagine.
Shall we say the Drow are our guides? It's best we all have our stories straight if they're so
Well, we
strict
will
on their
want
rules.
to avoid lies that will be easily caught out, and if we are to be your guides, we'd be expected to know a bit more than we actually do.
You know enough about the Underdark. More than us, certainly. You're not our specifically gaunt or grim guides, we'd say. Just general Underdark tour guides. Unless anyone has any better ideas for why such a unique group of people would be all together.
I can't deny that we are a rather diverse group of folk.
Now that I've resolved the issue of my spilled drink on my spellbook, I think I can. I think I know enough about the Underdark to claim some kind of tour guide. I don't know why a lot of people would come down here looking to be shown around, though.
Has anyone actually been here before?
No, I don't think so.
I used to live there.
Oh. So you know the city quite well then?
I didn't go out much. Got an internship at a place. Kind of worked my way into prison. So
You're a convict in this city?
bit. I never went through trial, but I was caught and I was just immediately sent there rather than sentenced here as a kindness. Because obviously if they just tried me here for my crimes, I would be dead.
Aye. So are you going to be trouble for us in this city if we're, no offence, if we're seen with you?
I'll just try to, keep my head down and might not be a problem.
Well, I think for me, my goal is Gauntlet. I can't speak for you all. Derendil, where is it you wish to go? And Derendil will sort of step forward, this huge, hulking, bestial-looking creature, and he'll be like, I would very much like to return to the service at the nearest opportunity and return to my kingdom, Nel Rindenvane. It's in the High Forest. I'll be honest, I have no idea where we are beneath the ground in relative to above the ground, so I'll be frank, I'm not a navigator. I'll be following your lead. And once we get to the surface, maybe then we can part ways. That is, I appreciate many of you are creatures of the Underdark and may not wish to go to the surface at all.
It raises a good point. What are individual plans?
Don't really have any.
No, I haven't really thought that far ahead either.
So you folks need a new home.
Yes, I would like to see Stall return to his.
All waddles over and just bumps into your leg. Doesn't say anything, but just kind of affectionately bumps into you.
Pat him on the head.
Yes, I think seeing a child home is a very commendable goal. I would support you in that, Malice, very much so.
Thank you.
Eldith nod. Aye, well, I believe, I'm not 100% certain, but I believe Stull's home is en route to mine. And perhaps not excessively far away from Gracklstugh. But I don't know exactly where it is, but I believe it is in between the two.
That works in our favour. What must we do whilst here? So we need to get materials, maybe, as well as food and resources. Sorry, I'm
Weapons,
watching Pat
components.
Massey. Are we planning to stay on the boat or?
We can get any advice on this doll. I'd like to get rid of that.
That is a good call. The doll is a little unusual. I don't know exactly how much we'll learn here, but it's definitely worth asking about.
If we're in the city, why not stay in the city?
What,
Oh.
live there?
No, just someone mentioned staying on the boat, but I think if we can find somewhere to stay, anything we
That
need
does
to
give us
do.
more chance of being caught or getting in trouble, unfortunately.
Well, what do we have to be caught for other than flouting the Drow law, I suppose? But it's an incredibly unreasonable law, and I think we are in agreement that we should absolutely, under no circumstances, at any point in this city, mention the actual reason for our coming together.
But they may still be following us.
It's been several days now. Are they really that persistent?
Incredibly. I don't think they'd risk raiding a Duergar settlement, though I have been wrong plenty of times before.
Aye, what if they're already here? it seems to me that there wasn't that many options, and aye, they would not need to split themselves too far to cover all the bases. Unless we stay fully out of cities, the chances are they could find us.
But what if the city is the safest place of all because they wouldn't dare go in? We just don't know these things. So,
No. Aye, well, you've said yourself that their laws are very strict, so it sounds, as long as we stay within the law, that it is probably a very safe place.
exactly.
So,
And I think we're all quite capable of doing that. And I'll look around with some doubt.
aye, I speak Dwarvish. May help.
As do I.
You do?
Mhm.
May I ask why?
I'm very clever.
No, not why can you, but why would you?
Why wouldn't I? It's important to be well versed in languages.
Oh, aye, I agree. I've just not met many fair folk who mingle with dwarves. Usually have an affinity with elves and such, but dwarves and fae rarely cross paths.
You're a dwarf. It's only polite to speak their language, isn't it?
Aye, I appreciate it. Well, fascinating. You learn something new every day.
And I will repeat back, and I will say back in Dwarvish, indeed you do.
She gives you a smile, looks impressed. You hear Hemeth shout from the rudder, 30 minutes, 30 minutes we'll be there. And you can see now the red-hued stone buildings of Gracklstugh off in the distance. You can see a large fortress wall upon the land, rising up very high, towering above the very flat, open stone plain in front of it. And on the side, you can see a break in the wall where the docks are as you approach.
Okay, we're running out of time. Where do we need to head first? We should have some goals in mind and an order in which to complete them. Any ideas?
We need to find somewhere to stay. We need to find somewhere to resupply. We need someone to fix our boat and potentially a crew if we're going to continue onwards because I don't think Hemeth thinks we're doing very well. And I came here to take a look around other potential tinkering places. Just essentially, I'm a tourist, so that's quite high up on my list.
Okay, so we will do those things in that order and try not to break any laws. And somewhere along the way, learn more about the laws.
Well, Rain can keep us informed of that, I think.
Okay.
Hemeth will shout from the back, do you want the docks or do you wish to come ashore outside of the gates?
If they're going to fix the boat, we'd probably want it in the dock, would we not?
Yes.
And to
makes
raise
us-
less suspicion as well. Though then again, showing up in a damaged boat that is not of the making of any of the people on board. That seems suspicious.
Well, we could tell them of what occurred at the at Sloop-le-Doop. They may have already heard.
Okay. That would make sense. Yes. Try and be as truthful as we can when we can.
So, but if anyone asks, have we decided that you're our guides, and we're just travelling?
Yes.
Someone's
I'm
going
sure
to ask, and we're all going to say something different at the same time, and that is not going to go down well.
Yes, we are your guides.
Gracklstugh, ho! And she'll fly over to the front of the ship to take a better look at the city.
Yeah, indeed, Hemeth starts heading towards the docks. He's going very slowly, a lot slower than you have been before. There's a bit of shouting for people to adjust the sails. You can only assume it's some sort of speed limit implied as you get closer to the city. The buildings have this sort of orangey red hue, and at first you think it's red stone of some kind, but as you get closer you realise it is a red glow of fires or forges or something. There's something giving off this warm light. Indeed, it's got such a glow that you can see the cavern ceiling thousands of feet above, covered in stalactites and patches of glowing lichen. And yeah, he very slowly maneuvers the ship in to the docks. Gets to a certain point and has to halt the ship, drop the anchor. You wait for what feels like an age, but it's probably only 30 minutes until a pair of Duergar, a male and a female, in a small sailboat come up, shout something to Hemeth in Dwarvish, which you would understand. Tink is effectively docking. His permission is granted. Please proceed to dock 3. And you see Hemeth again. He shouts. She starts raising the sails, and the ship slowly comes into port. The small sailing boat follows you in, and as you come up to the dock, they seem to sort of nod at Hemeth and look satisfied with the way he's docked the ship, and sail off and head off towards the next one. And as you turn and look behind, you can see a number of these very square, purposeful-looking ships, not beautiful in whatsoever, behind you, all queuing up and waiting for their turn to dock. And as you look more closely, you can see that they are manned and womaned by Duergar, both male and female. And with that, you find yourself on the docks, and as you feel the cool breeze of the dark lake washing over you, suddenly the air changes direction, the wind changes direction, and you feel this wave of heat slam against you, and this kind of acrid smog haze hangs everywhere. It's quite, you can kind of feel it burning a little bit in your lungs. It's quite acrid and quite unpleasant. Rain, you're not affected by it at all, although you almost feel at home when you smell this acrid smell. Everyone, you can hear the sort of faint metallic echoes of forges. Who knows how many, tens, hundreds, just coming from every direction. As I said, that all the buildings are high, sort of illuminated by this fiery red light, and the dock is incredibly busy and bustling. You can see these piers of Zirkwood, which is a kind of wood-like type of mushroom jutting out into the water and alongside your boat with stone pillars set in the water underneath. And the first thing you feel is this, just a sense of purpose. It's like all of the Duergar moving around are incredibly purposeful. There is no time wasting. There is no chatter. They are just on a mission, and every single one of them is moving around like that. And for the first time in quite a long time, you feel like you're back in civilization. The hustle and bustle. It is a little bit alien, but it's maybe not entirely friendly, but you feel safe for the first time in a while. And the streets are crowded. There's lots of faces of peoples you recognize, but likewise, there's some strange alien-looking creatures that you wouldn't recognize if you're from the surface. But the majority are Duergar, grey-skinned dwarves. Their eyes are white, almost without an iris. It's so pale, it just appears like their eyes are completely white, but they clearly see very well in the dark. Their clothes are all plain, unstyled, as is their hair and beards. There is no decoration anywhere. There is no adornment. There is no flourishes. Everything is about purpose and nothing else. And it's surprisingly cosmopolitan. You see pale-skinned gnomes. You see a band of orcs pulling a huge cart, which seems to be full of people in chains. And again, as you're looking, you see this huge stone giant. His skin is the colour of granite. He just sort of steps by across the dock. He must be 18 feet tall, maybe more. It's hard to tell. And he just walks amongst these people and over these people like there's nothing to worry about. Off on an adjacent pier, you see another ship with a bunch of Duergar unloading giant spiders that seem to be adorned with riding saddles from a boat and sort of herding them into a stable. And a group of Drow elves also stood in the docks. There's a flamboyantly dressed female in this blue and white gown. She's got long hair which goes all the way down to her bum, talking with a group of Duergar who they're just sort of nodding, looking very dour in response to whatever she's saying. They look quite annoyed by the unnecessary pleasantries. She's flanked by 4 Quaggoths and another Drow, a male who's sort of in loose-fitting clothes with a hood framing his face. His nose is sort of broken and uneven, as if he's had it broken many times. You can see that his arms are covered in sort of ritualistic-looking scars. He glances over and catches the eye of Malice and just gives you the faintest nod and then turns back to the conversation. You've reached Gracklstugh. What would you like to do?
I recognise the Drow.
You do not.
Okay, so it was a look of something, but not. I know who you are, and you're in big trouble.
But you are a female Drow, and he's a male one, so it could
But
just be deference, but
it just making sure it's not one of the guards. Okay.
Would have been mighty awkward if we'd have gotten spotted the second we got into Gracklstugh.
yeah.
Yeah. I was wondering if it was. Oh, I can't remember his name. It's the guy with the scars from right at the start.
Jorlan.
His face isn't scarred other than he looked like he was probably quite handsome. He's got the typical elven features, but his nose has clearly been broken many times and it's kind of slightly wonky and flattened.
And then it's got ritualistic scars, but
Scars
not like
on his arms, yeah.
hands.
He's got bare arms.
Okay. Does the woman look like a priestess, or like can I kind of tell what rank of society she's in?
Roll a history for me, or if you think anything else is more appropriate, go for that.
I was wondering about religion because of it being a
Yeah.
religious based thing.
Yeah, religion, sure.
roll on here. Yes, 17.
Yeah, no, you don't think it's a priestess. In fact, as you look a bit more carefully, you can see that underneath this rather beautiful silk gown, spider silk gown, she's wearing leather armor. So you suspect she may be a scout or a diplomat of some kind. But no, not a priestess. Definitely not.
Okay, I will still try and steer our little crowd of people away from the drow to avoid any drow interaction where possible.
Okay. Let's open the. So as the ship is tied off at the docks, you see a rather dour looking Duergar woman. Probably, if she was human, you would guess maybe in her 50s. She's got her hair tied back very tight, and even though you can see she's quite elderly and wrinkly, it kind of pulls her face and almost gives her a little bit of a facelift. And she wanders up to the dock, looks to Hemeth, who is still at the rudder, moving about, tying off the ropes, and says something in Dwarvish very, very abruptly, which Tink would recognise as business. And Hemeth is like, back in Dwarvish, I am just here to return home. This is not my ship. Speak with these people. And this Drow woman turns. Duergar. I keep saying Drow. Duergar woman turns and looks for. And says in Dwarvish again, "Who's in charge?" She looks annoyed. In Undercommon, "Who is in charge?" "I have other ships to do. Quick. If you do not have business here, leave."
I would put Veronica Tink forward, and so I'm in charge. How may I help?
"What is your business?"
Well, we are just here to get some supplies, to rest up, and then we shall be on our way.
"Trading. Good. Name of ship?"
And then I'll kind of whisper back to the others, "What's it called?" And have we at any point looked at the side of the ship?
I think so. There's nothing on it anyway, even if you do.
The bloober doob.
And the name of captain?
Tink. Captain Tink.
Captain Tink. And number of bodies on board?
Do some quick math and say whatever number I reach.
Okay. She starts frantically filling in this form. And writing for quite some time. Fills it out. Steps up to onto the dock and holds this paper out. "Your paper.
Okay.
If your stay is longer than 7 days, you must report back to docks and get extension. For foreigners, the only place you are permitted is Blade Bazaar and Goldbrawn's Lair. There is an inn there in which foreign folk can stay. If you go elsewhere in the city, you will be arrested, maybe executed, or at best ejected from Gracklstugh permanently. Is this clear?"
Blade Bazaar and where?
"Goldbrawn's Lair. It is the inn for foreigners." And she points across, and you can see this sort of they all kind of look the same, but you can see a slightly larger, less tall building, with tables outside with people like gnomes, and a few like deep gnomes, a few Duergar, but mostly gnomes. There's not many Duergar drinking there.
Excuse me, are there rules about trade?
Yes.
Where would we be able to find an itemized or easily accessible list of those rules?
The only rule you need to know for trade, price is price. Haggle is illegal. You will not only cause offense, you will be ejected from city. If you cause great offense, you will be imprisoned for 90 days. Is this clear?
Yes.
Told you.
Likewise, if you sell things, the price you will be offered should be fair. If you feel it is not fair, report to authorities. Do not
Okay.
haggle, just report. But this will not happen. Duergar do not haggle. We are fair, but we are firm.
Understood.
Good. I have more work. Have a productive visit in Gracklstugh. Goodbye. And she just turns and stomps off to the next dock.
What a
So-
colourful character.
So Nick, you would, I mean, you know Gracklstugh quite well.
Yeah.
You wouldn't have probably as much knowledge, but you know that the Goldbrawn's lair, which anyone that
Yeah.
speaks Dwarvish would know that Goldbrawn is the Dwarven word for bullet, which
Right.
you'll remember from the one shot, and effectively the Blade Bazaar and that inn are in what's referred to as the foreign quarter. So it is in effect where anyone who isn't a Duergar or a Derro are allowed to persist. To move outside of that area, you need some sort of papers or badge from the authorities to allow you to move further afield. You can do it, but obviously it's risky.
Okay. Yeah. Arain will relay all that to everyone else and suggest they go there.
Do our trade papers give us access to different areas at all? Like, is there an area of commerce?
So that's what's known as the Blade Bazaar. So they don't just sell blades, but it is effectively and you can see not that far away lots of it's almost like market stalls. It's like a wide open area, and there's market stalls with covered canvases, although covered from what you don't know because it's from rain down here. With tables with wares out and Duergar stood by, and then there's these little hatches that are open in the floor, and you can see stone steps going down. So you think wherever the workshops are underneath. And indeed, as you look across, you can see these quite large grates in the floor next to each of these stalls, which you assume is some sort of vent for the furnace. And Rain, again, you would know not to tread or stand on those vents, especially at the time of day when they light all the furnaces, because they light them all at once. And if you're stood on those, you probably get disintegrated.
It'll be a chill little stay, isn't it?
Yeah. Okay.
Hey, well, off we go.
Malice, is it best if I pretend to be just a quaggoth here, or
Um,
should I just be
I
myself?
I generally think as long as you are well behaved, I don't think it matters so much.
I mean, I know I'm not bothered about money because I am incredibly rich back home, but I would really like some trousers.
Okay, well, we'll see what we can do. Um, let's get to the inn for now, get ourselves settled, and then we can we can figure out what we need to buy and from where.
Okay. Okay. So where are you? Were you heading to the inn, or are you going elsewhere?
Yeah, I think that the inn, just to kind of get stuff like situated, would be good.
Okay.
As long as V doesn't come back on now and shout at me for my terrible version of Tink.
I don't know. I thought it was all right.
Was that an impression, or were you just like, I stand forward, she pushes Tink forward, and then I do a ventriloquist act?
I tried to be high pitched, but I couldn't quite manage it. I'm not quite sure how to do it.
I don't know. I thought it was pretty good.
Thank you. Needs a
Oh.
validation.
I think I was doing my Tink voice on the phone.
Were you being very stern with them?
I was being very well enunciated.
Awesome. Awesome. Okay. So
Do we actually have any gold?
I don't think we have gold, but we have things, but I can't find where they are. I have like a love statue that I think is worth something.
I thought you did have some stuff, if I'm honest,
I
but
think we made a point of trying to collect stuff that was worth bartering with. Not bartering, but trading.
The loot folder is empty.
And there's not much in the party notes.
Did people put things in their inventory?
I thought
no
you
longer
had.
have a
I thought you had a
kitchen.
journal with it all in.
Oh, party resources. No, that's just rid of water.
There's a party funds one as well, which has got. It's got 344 gold in it,
Yes, that is it.
plus other things. 11 knoll spears, 12 knoll ears, wedding ring. Oh yeah, I forgot you took her wedding ring. Yeah, gold hilted dagger, lol statue. Yeah, it's all in there. Okay. As you march through the Blade Bazaar, as I mentioned, you see these covered stalls with there's armor, there's weapons, and every sort of configuration of metal work you can think of in some form or another. There's no buildings as such in the Blade Bazaar. It's very open, but you can see these hatches that are open with stone steps descending down into the workshops below. There's probably only one Duergar in each stall. They're very purposeful. You can see a number of people moving around. There is deep gnomes. There is Drow. You don't really see any surface races. There's orcs as well doing business. It's just very, very productive. You don't see a lot of guards. You don't see a lot of security as such. But every so often you hear like the sound of a boot scraping or an unseen shield clattering against a spear, and you get the feeling that there are more people here than you can see. And you approach the gold bronze lair, which is this squat, again square, unattractive inn. There is a sign outside, which is a badly drawn bullet, and it's not. There's not much artistry involved. It is. You can tell what it is, but it is purposeful and not artistic in the slightest. And you wander inside if you wish.
So much shade being thrown.
I'm sorry. It's not. It wasn't intended as shade. Yeah, are you going in?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. You enter in, and it is warm. You can hear quiet chatter. you look around, and again you can see tables with orcs sat drinking, being quite rowdy. There's little parties of deep gnomes who are sitting around with papers out on the table and looking at ledgers and discussing in great detail. There is a table with a few drow sat at it. They look like your sort of typical soldiers on their break, just having some food and having a drink. They don't seem to be talking very much, but they are eyeing all the other patrons suspiciously. You can smell the fragrance of cooking meat, of stews and soups. You can see a number of deep gnomes sort of hustling and bustling in and out of a kitchen area into the main thing. And as they do, one again a female gnome, probably in her 20s, you would guess. Again, those are when I say 20s, I mean sort of human equivalent. It's very hard to tell how old she is. And she is not grey like the others. She actually looks like a surface gnome. And she wanders up and looks amongst you all, tries to decide what language to speak, 'cause there's so many of you, and just opts for undercommon in the end. Hello there. Can I get you a table?
We all speak just common. Just to clear that up for you.
And she switches to. Did you say that in common?
He'd have said that in undercommon.
Undercommon.
Do people who doesn't speak undercommon?
I think
So it's
everybody
me.
here speaks undercommon, don't they?
I don't.
I do.
It's not a problem. I can speak common. She switches to common. Don't get much call for it down here. What can I do for you, lovely folk? Can I get you a table, food? Do you need a room?
Yeah, well, we're going to need rooms.
Right.
We were wondering how much that would cost.
Do you want rooms each, or shared rooms, or what? What are you thinking?
Rooms. Let's keep the cost down. We've been sharing up to now.
She sort of looks at you and tries to gauge, I guess, how much money you have. What kind of are you looking for? Like a frugal room or a nice room, or kind of hard to tell. Some of you are quite well dressed, and some of you look like you've been dragged through the dark lake. No offense.
No, some of us have been dragged through the dark lake, pretty much. How much would your nicer room cost?
Well, if you want the nice room, it'll be 4 gold a day, but that will include meals and a little bit of drink. Obviously, per person.
And what does the other room cost and include?
Well, if you pay 2 silver pieces and you all share, then and it includes no food, yeah, you can have that for a room. How many there are? God, there's loads of you. You're not having that Quaggoth sleeping in the room, are you? We'll put him in the stables if that's all right.
Well, I would prefer for him to have a room. He will
Okay,
be
well,
very well behaved and he won't make any mess.
okay, well, yeah, you can have a 2 silver room if you wish. Then there might be a charge for getting a stink out. No offense meant, but they do kind of hum.
Well, Well, if
Do
you
you
have
have washing facilities?
facilities,
Yeah, we just got water troughs out back. Dunk him in. Right. So what are we going for? How long do you want to stay? We can give you a discount if you stay more than 5 days.
should we say 5 days then?
I don't think we'll need more than that.
How many of you wish to stay here?
In all fairness, if we wanted to keep costs down, we could always leave some people to stay on the boat.
Why are we
We
not
have
all staying on the boat?
we have the funds for it.
Yeah, but
We're
why?
more central and we're nearer things. If you want to stay on the boat, please feel free to, but I would much rather be in the midst of all the hustle and bustle.
Like, I don't like trying to survive and stuff. And like, what is the point to get supplies? And why are we wasting like 4 gold pieces a day when we could just sleep on boat? Doubt this is going to be much more comfortable. No
I
offense.
quite agree. There's no reason, if we're just using it as a base to sleep, why would we need to spend 4 gold on a nice room? Why don't we just take the 2 silver room?
I'll just sleep on the boat. Won't get like 15 gold piece, so I'm not spending this if I can sleep on the boat.
We made we found quite a bit on our journey here, so it's even the 4 gold wouldn't be a problem. I'm just trying to keep costs down because what's the need for fluffy towels when there's a trough out back?
I mean, if you're willing to pay, I'll stay here and just find up the money. See?
If you're with the party, feel free to stay with us.
Alright, cool.
Right. So is the mushroom staying with you?
Yes, he'll stay with me.
Okay. Right. All
The
right. Well,
mushroom and I won't need a full-size bed. I mean, I think a chest, even a drawer if you line it quite nicely will just do.
I mean, we've got a room that will sleep 6, so 2 silver, but that's usually 1 gold and 2 silver per day. That will include breakfast, but no other meals and no drink. Is that acceptable? If you can squeeze more than 6 in there, you're very welcome to.
How many did we work out there were of us?
Is there? Well, oh, sorry, I still got the voice change on.
And we've got the 2 dart gnomes as well.
They don't seem to have left the ship. They're not with you at the moment, so it's up to you whether you include them or not. So there's
Oh,
5 of you.
Still.
Yeah, Derendil, Stool, and Eldith.
Oh yeah, Aldith.
Hemoth isn't with you.
8.
Oh, and 2 of us are tiny, so 6. That's fine.
But one of us is large.
One of those puzzles where you got to work out how you can fit everyone in the room.
It's people Tetris.
It is. Right. Okay. I'll get you your key. Please take a table. Any drinks while I do that? Dark Lake Stout? Anyone?
It's a lot of shit for me today.
Oh shit! It's a nod. It's a, it's a, it's a reference to other games.
Is that the drink of the town, would you say?
I would say so. It's quite nice considering it's made out of fungus. It tastes very similar to surface ales. Those of you that are from the surface, miss, and she nods at Eldith.
Oh yes, I think one for all. Stall, maybe not, but
Oh, no, too young.
the rest of us, and I only need like a shot glass.
I hope it's slightly cannibalistic for Stool.
Yeah, I was thinking maybe Mouse would like cover his non-existent ears at that point. No, they're drinking fungus juice.
Well, it's 2 silver pieces per gallon. If you wish, I can bring you out a massive jug, and you can just share it, or it's 4 copper per mug.
Why not?
Your choice.
Let's take the gallon and share round.
Very good.
I'll have some of that. He says, looking at it, excited.
So she will rush off. Can find a seat somewhere.
Dear
Yeah,
party, I have found the party funds, and shall we start taking them off there? Did she
Yeah, I
want
think so.
payment up front?
She
for the
didn't
room?
ask for it, no. So
Just-
it was 1 gold, 2 silver per day, times 5 days is 6 gold, and then 2 silver for your gallon of ale.
1 gold, 2 silver. No, not 1 gold, 6 gold. Help.
6 gold for 5 days. Yeah.
Thank you.
Hey, she comes back a few moments later with a key, and a massive jug of ale. It smells quite hoppy, although you're pretty sure it's not got hops in it, and a bunch of mugs on a tray. She sets them down on the table. If you need anything else, just ask. All right,
Arsk.
ask. and she rushes off.
Sweet. I usually smoke these or eat them. Never drunk them before.
I would quite like an ale if that's okay. And Derrindale will take one of the mugs, which will probably look like a shot glass in his hands, a bit like a shot glass does in yours. You do realise there's a little short glass in there for you. So Derrindale starts pouring all the drinks for everyone.
Shall we do a cheers? We're back in civilization.
Yes, I very much agree. I would like to make a toast to you all. I would not have survived this far, but I would also like to remember those that fell behind us that we had unfortunately left behind. So to the fallen. He raises a glass and brings the tone down a bit.
Thoughtful of you. Unfortunately, I don't remember their names.
And I never met them, so cheers.
Oh, what now? This ale is very it is like a dark ale. It's quite rich tasting. It's quite it's probably quite high in iron. Yeah, it tastes
I
like
imagine a Guinness.
it is like a Guinness. Yeah.
Time of day is it? Or
That's
is
a good
that even
question.
observed down here?
Well, everything is open. You're not quite sure what the opening hours are in this city, but you would guess that it is their daytime. You've not quite figured out how they measure time down here yet. The Drow would know that, for example, in Menzo Baranzan, they have it's called Narbundel, and it is effectively a stalagmite that is enchanted, and a light rises up this stalagmite and drops back down to signify the passing of the day. You would assume that the dwarves have something similar, but you're not sure what it is. Although
How busy is our gnome bartender? Could we call them over and ask them for a bit of info about the city?
sure, yeah. I mean, she looks quite busy, but it's not massively, rammed in here. So she will, you wave her a few times and she will come over. Can I help you? Food.
Oh, yes, absolutely. What do you have?
We have got on today for lunch. We've got lizard shank, very nice, just falls off the bone. We do have a mushroom broth, which is also very good. We've got a bit of a sort of lichen salad if you're not so keen on meat and such. That is, I mean, when I first got down here, it sounded revolting, but it's actually quite nice and fresh. Yeah, that's the three options. I mean, we got some stew. It's just kind of like a big pot that we just keep adding to when it gets low, and I don't really know what it is anymore. Leftover stew, the cheap one if you're on a budget.
Lizard shank?
Okay, right.
Mushroom stew.
Mushroom stew. Yeah, the broth. Okay. Yeah,
Little lichen salad?
lichen salad.
I would
Right.
go for the salad as well, please.
Okay. Right. Anyone else?
I'd also like a lichen salad.
We are being a restaurant scene.
I'm loving everything that's happening. Can we also
Right.
get a bottle of tap water for the table?
Right. Okay. I'm not sure what tap is, but yeah, no problem. Must be a surface thing. Darren does like, I'll have 3 lizard shanks if that's okay. And Elder's be like, aye, lizard shank for me, please. And she'll take everyone orders. Right, I'll go.
Before you go, could
Yeah,
we just,
yeah.
just as newcomers, just a moment, could we just ask, do you have a way of telling the time here, opening hours for most businesses?
Well, a lot of folk have water clocks down here. I mean, the bet we mark the start of the day by the lighting of the furnaces, so that's quite obvious when that happens. I would advise that in the morning you do not stand on the vents, because if you're standing on the vents when temperature breathes into the furnaces, you may get very burned. And then it's kind of like, usually they are open for like 10 hours and then they close. But I'm afraid we don't have a water clock in here. I've just kind of got used to getting a feel for what time it is, you know. But yeah, the day starts with the lighting of the furnaces. And you'll know it because you'll see the flames shooting out everywhere, all over the city.
Are the furnaces unlit when businesses usually close?
Well, they never quite go out, but you know, Temperature's breath is incredibly hot, as you can imagine, and that, you know, gets some proper hot start of the day.
Okay, so it gets a bit cooler, assumably, in the evening. Not much,
Cool.
but a little bit.
Who's temperature?
Temperature, he's, well, I mean, you'd have to talk to the Keepers of the Flame about him, but yeah, he is a red dragon.
Oh, I thought you just said temperature weirdly.
No, Temperchild is his name. He's getting quite big now.
You keep a dragon in the city?
What is the most efficient way to light the furnaces? Apparently,
Is he quite happy to be doing that?
well, he's quite pampered from all accounts.
Fascinating.
I mean, if you get up early in the morning, you'll probably see him. The keepers lead him through the streets, and there's a few points where he has to breathe into some sort of contraption that folks far cleverer than me. I think it's the folks from the Intricate Requiem. They set up this clever system that channels the breath and enhances the heat and all of that kind of stuff, and it makes the furnaces very effective. That's why the Duergar's work is, unsurpassed in quality. They can make weapons and armor that are resistant to acid and all sorts of things because of the great heat that they use.
Sorry, I know you're busy, but you just keep bringing up such interesting things. Intricate Requiem?
Yeah, it's a bit of a flouncy name, I know, but I think that's the translation, something like that. They make things, like the water clocks come from there.
Oh, this may be what I was looking for. Where would we find them?
Right, if you go out of here, they're kind of on the edge of the Blade Bazaar. You'll see this. You'll know it. It's quite a big building, but it's got like a big brass and silver door covered in eyes, kind of closed eyes, if you know what I mean. Like lots. It's hard to explain. You'll know it. That it's a bit weird.
That's very useful. Was there anything else we wanted to ask whilst we were here?
Do you have any wine options?
Wine. Well, yes. We've got a nice dry white, and we've got a nice quite a fruity green, if you like the green wine.
Green wine.
Is
Well,
that made from?
I'm not really sure. I'm not really sure, but I'm sure you appreciate we don't get fruit down here.
I've got a green wine, please.
I mean, it's quite comparable to a decent fruity red, I would say, if you're from the surface, which I'm guessing a few of you are. It's not unpleasant.
I do have one other question. Why have you decided to settle it?
I'll be honest. I'll be honest. I was sold to the Duergar by orc traders, and although the Duergar, if you're productive, will give you your freedom, which they have to me, I have no way of leaving. So I have stayed here. I mean, it's pretty dangerous out there. The chances of me getting back to the surface are 0. So I'm happy with my lot here.
I will look around at the people that have mentioned going back to the surface, which I think is Eldif and
Darendil.
Darendil. Thank you. Interesting. Oh, thank you very much for that. Sorry, what was your name?
My name is Yeti.
Yeti.
Not like the snow beast. It's double T.
Altogether very different.
Yes, I'm not related to snow beasts. Just got like hippie parents. You know what it's like.
I don't, but I shall take your word for it. Well, thank you very much.
You're welcome. I'll get the food right out for you. In about 10 minutes. And she will rush off.
Quick question: who has the party funds?
I don't know.
That's a good question, actually.
Maybe we should put on the top of it who's got it.
I can only remember Tink saying that she couldn't carry it all.
Yeah, I do remember that as well.
And that's pretty much it.
The only thing I remember is I took a 100 gold pearl off a pearl necklace, which knocked the value of the necklace down, but now I can cast Identify.
That's why I think it's worth 900 and not 1,000.
Yeah.
And I'm about to ask for a gold, so I'd like to know who I'm asking.
Someone just volunteer.
It was either Droden or Sevatar, I think. I just can't remember which one.
Well, I'm happy for Steve to take the party funds because for some reason you've all trusted Darzin with party funds in Curse of Strahd.
I'm happy to not volunteer. I mean, we can all access it. It's just for the purposes of RP. I was
Yeah.
going to say, Sevatar, it was really quite helpful. I thought maybe we could give her a little tip, maybe a gold. Would that be okay?
I don't think he likes that idea. Durandal pipes up.
Sevatar, are you dancing?
Oh, hello.
I just wondered if I could maybe tip that lovely gnome a gold. As you're looking after the party funds, but I think you may have missed that.
Well, yes, and well, tipping. Did we say that that was okay?
They're not a Duergar, and we're not bribing them or anything, so
Well,
it's just a
okay then.
gift. Thank you.
Well, yeah, sure.
And I'm going to just flutter off after her, hopefully as she's on her way to the back, and just say, "Oh, Yeti, Yeti."
He turns round. Yes, miss.
I just forgot to ask one more question. I was looking for a Duergar, a previous colleague of my mother's, and it's a long shot, but I just wondered whether you might have know of a Victor. I can't remember his last name.
Victor.
Oh,
Well,
courage.
that's quite a common
Gabror.
Duergar name. Gabror. Yes. That name rings a bell. I think. Was he? Do you know what he looks like?
No, and wait, do I? He
Don't
looks
know.
like a Duergar.
Okay, we don't get many Duergar in here, but maybe. Like, there's very few that trade in here. There was the. No, I'm not sure.
You're thinking wild white hair on the top, cropped close at the sides, short white beard, one of his eyes replaced with a weird brass thing.
I've purposely gone off to ask her on my own, but yeah.
Oh, sorry.
That's interesting to know.
I'm sorry, miss. I can ask around if you like. If you get a description, I could tell you. We don't get many grey dwarves in here. This is the foreigners' tavern, but you get the odd one. I can ask for you.
I'd appreciate that. And for your excellent service, and I will give her the gold.
Mm-hmm. She looks quite surprised. Looks like someone who's not used to getting tips. Oh, miss, there's no need for that.
I know it's not the way things are done round here, but essentially you are providing me with a service by asking around, and I don't believe you have a fixed rate for that, so this is my donation.
Well, very much appreciated, miss. Very much appreciated. If you need anything else, just ask. I'm happy to help.
Thank you, and I will flitter back and answer this telephone call.
Okay.
Me and Steve also noticed something about the map that I'm curious about. Are we actually seeing an illithid in the tavern somewhere?
If you can see one, yeah.
Or the guy that seems to be dead on the floor.
There's a guy dead. Oh, there is a guy dead on the floor. I didn't even see that.
We're just
He's
drunk.
not. He's not dead. He's just drunk, and kind of naked.
That's what they all say.
It's an orc. He's like a grey orc, but he's just completely naked and hammered.
Is that a goblin dick on the floor next to him?
Roll.
Troll dick.
I was going to say, if it's supposed to be to scale, that is one hell of a goblin.
It's snitch.
Yeah, you will see this gnome will come out with the food. The sort of broths and the stews will come out first, and then a short time later these shanks of meat, which are quite large, and it's all very good quality. Tastes very nice. I mean, it's not fancy, but it's a nice meal, and quite filling.
That's the first proper meal we've had since we've escaped.
Probably, yeah.
There wasn't a chunk of a mushroom tree or some butchered carcass that we killed on the way.
Or a bag of fertilizer.
Or a spectator. or a bag of fertilizer.
Right. So, what's the plan here? I don't mean to get nervous, but more time we're spending in this city, worse it might be for everyone involved. So what's the first order of business? We want supplies that we
Well,
want.
first, we should eat, we should drink. We've not been had any proper sustenance for a few days now. It's also nice to just for a moment feel like we're not on the run. And then I believe that supplies would be then our next port of call. And I'm aware that Tink does, when she gets back from talking to the barmaid, would like to see if there are any other kind of tinkerers around and maybe ask about it a bit. But yes, I once we've rested for a moment and had some food, I'd say some supplies would be a good idea.
Maybe I could start the dreaded paper run.
Someone
So
say shopping episode.
this is where I'm gonna suddenly need names for hundreds of vendors, isn't it?
They're all
And
called Victor now.
I know, and that name's name was Hetty, but I misread it. But Yeti, it's good. Yeah, it's fine.
Where would our next stop be once we leave Gracklstugh? Because that might influence what we prepare for, what we buy, etc. Also, if we're going to explore an underwater ruin at some point, maybe something to help us breathe underwater might be useful.
We do have a potion of water breathing, but I think something more consistently useful would be handy, yeah. As for where we're going, I suppose our next stop, I think, is Neverlight Grove, and then after that, I don't know, we could head to Gauntlgrim. I'd also be quite happy to go to Blingden Stone, but that's rather close to Menzo Baranzan, which I don't think many of us want to go to at the moment.
Rain, do you know if there's anything for sale that might be suitable for Drogan here? Anything in the arcane nature? Or is it more just whatever can be made physically at a forge? I guess we'll find out when we explore.
Yes, we can have a saunter around.
I usually make whatever I need. Also, vendors get a bit of reputation, so might skip most of that. If that's the right word.
Right, well, shall we just eat for the time being and worry about what we're doing a little later on for the day? Or, we can try and cram into our respective rooms and see how that goes.
Well, I'm kind of following your lead, everyone. I mean, it seems though we're still undecided in what our ultimate goal is. Are we seeking to escape the Underdark? I mean, I certainly am, but I get the feeling some of you don't wish to.
Well, please, I want to get out of here.
I'm very sorry, Rain. I didn't catch that.
I definitely want to get out of here. Yes, please.
Oh. Okay, well, that's good to know. Hey, Sevatar, what's your goal here? Are you looking to leave? Or do you wish to find a new home here, down here, or up there, or?
I've never really had a home. I wander, and it suits me, I think, for the time being, to repay the debt. Some may perceive that your company has enabled me to escape, and if I can assist you along that journey, then I'm happy to accompany you. All collectively, I mean, not just you, Derendil.
Well, of course, and that's the reason for me asking. I don't wish to be selfish and just look after one own's goals. I need to be clear what you all want from this. I'm alive because of you all, as is, Stool, Eldith, the gnomes, everyone. There's been a few close calls, and I think if we weren't all together, probably more of us would be dead than just Shushar and Jimjar and the others.
I would like to see everybody return home that wants to.
Me too. I mean, obviously, if I do get home, I would gladly offer you all a great reward for my safe return. Well, I could easily promise, I don't know, 10,000 gold each. And potentially a small piece of land that you could live on also.
Oh, when's
Incredibly
Durandal going to
generous.
turn out to be a murderer as well?
He's like the demi-Bapido. We just haven't discovered it yet.
Like, he's not going to be a prince, is he? Like, it just... No. There's going to be something else going on.
So,
He's going to be the big bad.
it was never
You don't
Bapido,
trust
and
me at all, do you?
it was never Bapido at all. It was Derendil framing him.
Pulling the strings.
Gosh, what you did, Stormat, I will never trust you again. I have just had one thought though. If the ship is going to require repairs, they might take some time. So actually, it's probably the first thing we would want to sort out, is it not?
That's a good point.
That is a good point. And we have
Lovely.
still 5 days. That will give us plenty of time to wait out the repairs.
Yeah. So should we finish up here, and once we're done, we will head back to the dock and see if we can find some kind of shipwright.
Yeah. And even beyond repair, maybe upgrade if we have the funds for it. I know it
Yes,
won't be
maybe
cheap.
there's something that means that it could work with fewer crew.
Yeah. Maybe some armaments, some cannons or ballistas or
Even just some basic lights for Tink would be good.
Well, I was actually hoping, in terms of light, I did give Rain not blueprints per se, but I had this idea for a light that I could sort of affix to myself, so I could see. Maybe we could pick up the materials for Rain to make that.
Oh, no, that would be far more useful than just having a set of lights on the ship. So yes, we can do that. But yes, we'll Is everyone finished here? Have you all finished eating yet?
yes,
Yeah.
I have.
I have, yes.
Had we had a long rest before we got here? I'm trying to remember what happened between the last fight and.
No, you hadn't. No, you'd
No,
literally
okay.
put yourselves free of the webs and sailed in. So, yeah, I mean, body clock wise, you kind of feel like it's afternoon, mid-afternoon.
Yeah, I'm
Gotta
just
get.
wondering about the new spells.
Oh, yeah, yeah. So you will have new spell slots,
But not the spells
but
until.
not the
Yeah.
spells.
Right.
Yeah, until you do a long rest.
Okay. Well, shall we all go find a shipwright? Is that the right word?
It is the right word, I think.
Yeah. We'll go do that then.
Okay. Yeah. So you finish up. The ale is good. The food is good. There's a little fire that you manage to sit round whilst you eat and talk. It's very quiet and nice and relaxed. So if you want a short rest, if anyone wants a short rest, you can have one. Yeah, you leave your plates and mugs behind and exit back into the Blade Bazaar.
We could do with a re-import, please, Matt, when you get 2 seconds.
Yeah, no problem.
And all of the plates and everything are stacked neatly because we're civilized people.
Okay.
I lick my plate.
Oh God, flashback.
Okay, try that, Steve. I'm just gonna redo weapons of the
Yeah.
equipment currency.
Mine has me at level 3, but with my level 4 hit points.
Oh, same here.
Okay, let me re-import everybody.
And I'll be right back.
Thanks, pal. I'm good.
Are you good? Are yours okay, Nick? I re-imported it just now. I think
The inventory is here.
is it still missing?
No, it's here.
It's here. Okay.
I think everything else is fine.
Okay. Good. Oh yeah, Drodin's level 3 as well. I'll import you. Sorry about that. I didn't notice that I hadn't done that. Where's Tink? There she is. She's really little and on top of stool. Okay. So you exit from the Goldbrawn's lair, looking out across this busy, bustling market. Trying to get your bearings. You can see the docks off in the distance, and it's at that point that you look up. You can see people shopping, examining goods, handing over money. It's incredibly busy, and as you looking across, you see this huge shape. Seems to just be charging, screaming, charging through the stalls, knocking them flying, knocking people flying. And it looks like a giant. The size of it's easily 15 feet tall, maybe a bit taller. And as you look in the gloom, you see that actually it seems to have 2 heads, and it is just charging through. You see one of the Duergar guards sort of appear out of nowhere. Suddenly there's this armoured Duergar with white beard, bald head, shaved head, and a spear just appears in front of this huge 2-headed giant, and the giant just smacks him with the back of his hand, and you see him drop to the floor, blood coming from his mouth, eyes staring, dead. Roll initiative, please.
Well, yeah.
What have I just walked back into?
Can I shout out to anyone? Is there a law against us helping with this?
I am not on the initiative track.
Should be now.
Yes, I am. Thank you very much, sir.
The still defender goes right after me, Matt. So if you want to just delete that from there.
Yeah, I think I can just drag it. Where is it? There. Yeah.
Got plus 13 to my initiative.
Yeah, mine's
It-
plus 12.
I think they've changed it so it just adds your dex on now. I don't know why, but yeah, instead of doing it as D20 plus your dex modifier and then doing a tiebreaker based on your dex, they're just adding the dex on, which kind of makes sense, I suppose.
Okay.
Yeah, we were getting 34
and-
dexterity the other day, and everyone was like, "What? How's that work?"
Sorry for I disappeared at the wrong moment. What are we fighting?
It is
Hey,
a huge stone giant with 2 heads.
Okay, thank you.
In
And
fact, can
where is
everyone?
it?
It is there. It is charging through the stalls. It's sort of knocking stalls everywhere. It just seems in a rage or a panic. It's very hard to tell.
I think you might need to activate the scene, mate. We're still on.
Yeah, I'm still in
Yeah.
the
Bronze.
Oh,
tavern.
sorry.
Thank you.
There we go. Want to see that?
99% incoming.
Oh, the tease.
You'll know it's loaded when my face gets less pale.
Oh. Hello there.
Well, hello. I've put you a bit too high, so you're just coming out of the tavern there.
Oh no. Goodbye.
Okay. So just Sev to roll initiative, and I'll roll for Eldith.
Oh, I thought I had. Sorry.
That's all right. Just
I'm in the initiative order on my screen.
Oh, there's two of you. Okay,
Oh, there is.
that would be why. Okay. So as I say, can everyone roll a DC? Well, I'm not going to say what the DC is. Can everyone roll a Wisdom ability check, please? Not a saving throw.
God damn it,
Ooh,
Hey.
Thomas!
ooh, ding dong. Okay.
It's terrifying.
Thomas. Dear. Okay. Tink, Rain, and Malice. You see this. So initially, it appears like this stone giant, two-headed stone giant, is charging angrily through the crowd, sort of smashing stalls out the way. You see it backhand this Duergar stone guard who appears out of thin air, just almost seems to just materialize in front of this thing with a spear, and the giant just bats him aside. Absolutely, he hits the floor. He's dead already. And at first you think it's angry and it's charging, but then you realise, Tink, Rain, and Malice, that one of the heads is furious and angry, and the other one just looks absolutely horrified and terrified. First up is Eldith, and you guys can decide what you want her to do.
Eldif smash. No?
You
Oh,
can
are
do. I
we going
think
to get in trouble for fighting? Is my concern.
Yeah. Did anyone reply to me saying, could we help? Or is that against the law?
I think generally people haven't heard it or haven't reacted to it. They're sort of focusing on this giant bearing down on them. You should have
heroic.
control of her.
She's heroic. She'd run up and help, right?
I think so. She's quite brave generally, isn't she? Do you want
Can we go through these stalls?
Sorry, ignore that. There we go. It's all right. There seems to be two Eldiths. Yeah. Yeah, you can run. You can run through the gaps in between. Yeah, no problem.
Run up to it and give it a whack, unless anyone disagrees.
Go for it.
Yeah, she has multi-attack. I think she's got a scimitar at the moment.
Oh, actually, she has a scimitar and she has a longbow and a short bow. Would it be safer for us to keep her back? Let's keep her back.
Safer for her, not safer for us.
She's so squishy, though. Well, actually, she's no less squishy than me, to be honest. That's quite squishy.
Oh, read one time.
Longbow does more. Let's get her to do a longbow.
Okay. Miss,
Yep.
unfortunately.
But multi-attack, so again.
She does. Yeah.
Ugh.
It's also a miss.
Eldif's crap.
I think it's just the shock of having this lovely, relaxing meal, bit of wine, and walking out the door to see this transpiring. She just wasn't expecting it and misses. But Tink, you're up with Sev up next.
Fairy fire.
Okay, go for it. It's a DC 14. That is a 7.
Nice.
Nice. So yeah, this sparkling fairy fire appears all around it, and some of the lights cling to it. It's almost got an outline. I think you get advantage from now on, don't you?
Mhm.
Nice. Anything else?
With that, I'll retreat back a little further in case it decides to come running in this direction. Actually, you know what? We're all grouped together. If I was there, can I go round the corner? Yeah.
Sure.
So if he comes at you like Skittles, then at least I won't be one of them.
Like you're thinking. Sevatar, you're up.
Okay. I'm going to go for a short bow attack.
Okay.
With advantage, is it?
It is. Okay.
The 3 dice are because of elven accuracy, I think.
Okay. 22 is a hit. Roll damage.
Damage incoming.
Ooh.
6.
Ooh,
No sneak
nice.
attack damage.
Unfortunately not, no. Oh no, you got advantage, so you do get sneak attack, don't
Oh,
you?
yeah.
Yep.
Well reminded.
Oh, I just killed it. It's not dead, don't get excited.
An additional 11.
Okay, 21 points of damage. That's awesome, yeah. Well done.
I'm going to stay still.
Okay. Oh, you're gonna do? Is it steady aim, or do you not have that yet?
If needed. Yeah, I do have it, yeah. If needed.
Okay. Okay. Next up, it's the stone giant, and with those arrows flying in, it just lets out this bellow. It seems to one of the heads, at least for Rain, Tinker, Malice. You notice one of the heads decides it sort of loses interest in the Duergar in the market and looks between Eldith and Sevatar and charges forward towards Sevatar.
Oh no.
Oh no, I'm sorry to say. And you can see in its hand it's got this huge, it's basically the trunk of a Zerkwood that has been planed away at one end to form a handle, and it just brings it up over its head.
Oh no.
And down towards Sev.
That's a hit.
27.
I can no.
Go on.
The defender can impose disadvantage on attack roll of one creature you can see. But you've already done the roll, so I don't know if that.
I'm happy to. Yeah, you want to do disadvantage? That's fine. I'll roll again. Nice. Oh, beautiful. So, Sev,
Wow.
you see this massive club coming down, and it literally like makes it casts a shadow over you. It's so big, and as you do, I mean, describe what your steel defender does, Nick, to
So
impose that
probably
fumble.
jump in front of it and try to bite its arm as it's bringing it down, and try to pull it away so it doesn't quite make an impact, but enough of an impact for it to lose its concentration and not hit us hard.
Awesome. Nice work. Nice work. It does unfortunately bring the swing back round and go again. Sorry.
I did once.
16.
Still hits.
Oh, okay. Okay. I apologize in advance.
Okay.
Oh.
Well, shit. I'm still up.
You bloody hero. Are you really?
Oh yeah, just. There's a lot of claret on the cobbles.
Yeah, so you will all see it swing and it goes to hit, and you think it's going to make impact, and the sort of construct of Rain intercepts the blow and seems to deflect it, and then it unfortunately brings the club back round, and it is an absolutely brutal impact on Rain. You see, blood coming from his wounds. He's struggling to stand, but he's still standing, like the blooming hero that he is. Drodin.
Well, Tink did the thing I was going to plan on doing. So,
What, running away?
no, using fairy fire. So,
Ah.
my plan for the time being is I am going to run away. And then I'm going to cast Scorching Ray with my last second level because I didn't think to take a short rest and get Arcane Recovery.
Oh,
I forgot that was a feature.
you were so busy relaxing, you forgot to rest.
Black Lake Stout.
So that's 3 attack rolls for each of the bolts at advantage.
It is advantage, yeah.
Huzzah! That's a shit roll.
That is a miss, unfortunately. That is a hit. And that is a hit.
2 out of 3 ain't bad.
Pretty good.
Double ones is pretty shit though.
Oh, so you got 2 and 8, 2 and 8, so that's 10. Is that right?
Yep.
Okay. I mean, it doesn't look it's barely injured. It's almost, its skin looks like stone, but it is almost like hitting stone. It doesn't seem to do as much as you would expect, but I mean, you do the full 10. Anything else, sir?
Panic? No, not really.
Sev. Okay, Rain, you're up.
Seeing this, Rain's gonna reach for his shield and then yeah, just move 15 feet that way. And take pull out a pistol and shoot at it.
For it with advantage.
Is it because of fairy fire?
Very fire, yeah.
Yeah. 16.
It's a miss, unfortunately. Just.
Right. Yes. Big shot misses as it tries to tumble away and run. So where would she go? 15 feet that way. Try to surround it, and then bonus action, I'm gonna order my Still Defender, make a force empowered rend.
Oh. It's advantage as well.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah, crit, yeah.
17 points of force damage.
Nice. Nice. Describe what that crit looks like for me.
It's basically a headbutt right on the knee.
Yeah.
I imagine it's quite tall, isn't it?
Yeah, it's massive. Yeah, yeah, and it probably smacks it in the knee, causing it to lose its balance a bit. And you see, everyone would see blood start to pour from the knee where it made impact. Anything?
Nothing. Yeah, I think that's gonna be it. It's not gonna. The Still Defender's not gonna move. Gonna try to protect Sev.
Awesome. Awesome. Malice.
So one of the heads look like it's frightened? Like
It does, yeah. Yeah, you, Tink, and Rain, I think, have noticed.
and does the other head looks angry or just okay?
Yeah, it's almost bestial. It's just absolute in a rage, like animal rage.
Can I cast calm emotions on it?
Exactly
Cool.
what I was fucking hoping for.
Sure.
Sorry, I was planning one thing and then I remembered the anger, so I'm now changing it. So, humanoid. Is it humanoid?
believe so. Yeah, I think so. I mean, it is huge if that changes it. Doesn't actually say. It just says giant. Under type, it says giant, which I assume a giant is a humanoid.
This just says humanoid.
No, it's one that sounds like humanoid.
It's not humanoid.
Yeah,
For
it's
the
weird.
text,
It's got to specifically say humanoid from a rules point of view. Although humanoid is a head, arms, and legs, but in terms of rules, it doesn't mean that. It's stupid.
Okay, fair play. Yeah,
Okay.
sorry then. Yeah, I just looked it up. Yeah, they're human shaped, but they're
not humanoid.
they're not a humanoid rule
I
wise.
know that to not waste the spell.
You would know that, yeah.
Okay, then I will just cast command. And I will shout halt.
Okay.
So that is a DC 13 Wisdom saving throw.
Okay.
Oof.
It doesn't move and it takes no actions. I think until its round is complete.
Okay. And can it make a save at the end of each round, or is it just? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Your command. The spell ends. And the spell lasts for 1 round. So yeah.
Okay. Awesome. Anything else?
I will try and get Stool to waddle over to me. Would it be able to take a reaction if it's halted?
It shouldn't do. No, it shouldn't do. I did forget to put Stall on the initiative, but I'll put him just after you.
Okay, so I will take Stool. So if he kind of gets to me, which should be 5 feet, and then I'll kind of take him back. Can he do 20 in total?
Yeah, 20 feet, and he can dash, I suppose, for 40 if you want him to run. Yeah, because one blow from that giant would kill him outright.
Oh yeah, and me. It's because it's moved on to Stool. I'm not able to move, but I would be moving.
Okay, let me just put it back on you then. There you go.
Okay, so 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Yeah, so I'll move my full away from it and try and get Stool to move and dash to me. And that's me saving the mushroom again.
You love that mushroom. Okay, he should be able to move Stall now as well. And then it's Derendil.
Yeah, sorry, it wasn't letting me move him.
Who's controlling Derendil? Happy for you
was
guys to.
me, sorry. He will run up and claw.
Claw.
Advantage.
Advantage, yeah.
Yes, Thomas.
I want some, old lad.
Is that 8 as a crit?
It says I rolled it as a
3 and a 2. I think. Yeah, no, that's right. Okay. Do you want to do second one?
No way.
No. 2 Thomases in a row.
Gammy
Though it's-
fucker.
Though it's not Thomas because he's got a moustache and glasses, but we should still run away from it, though he is.
It's like Groucho the tank engine or something.
Due to copyright reasons.
It's not Thomas. We should run away as if it is. Does an attack break your command? I think it probably does, doesn't it, Malice? So Derendil will run in 1 claw, 2 claws. And this thing is quite badly injured now. It's got sort of bleeding kneecaps. It's got burn holes in it. It's got arrows sticking out of it. It's
Command does not specify that if the creature is attacked, the spell ends.
You're right, it doesn't. Okay. Okay.
Probably
Anything else?
the only mind control spell that actually fucking
Nope.
has that feature.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, top of the round then. With Eldith. You all should have control of the NPCs now if you want to have a look at them.
I played it last time. Who else wants to go?
Yeah, I'll do a couple of shots. How far can she move? 30 feet. Is she going to get some distance? Probably run in a different direction. Just scatter a bit. 2 longbow shots. First one. Are we still at the advantage?
Yeah. Yeah, it's still
First one.
glowing.
And second one.
Lasts for a minute, I think, doesn't it? Yeah, that's 2 hits. Roll damage.
First damage. 9, and the second damage is 5.
Nice.
2 arrows whistling through the air.
Yeah, 1, then another straight in the torso. Good bunching. Very close together. Tink, you're up.
I will Chaos Bolt. Where is it?
Don't know.
There it is.
It's amazing how Fairy Fire, when it takes, can completely
Oh god, yeah.
open up a combat.
Clutch.
When it fails, it's so disappointing, but it's worth it when it works. 24. Yes, I think so.
And that is, what is it? A 6 of 5. So I can make that lightning damage. Let's go for that.
Okay. Yeah, this giant's got this blank. They're both heads now got, well, no, that's not true. One head has this sort of blank expression. The other still looks terrified and panicked. As your lightning sort of washes over it and ripples around its torso. It looks bad now. Looks like it's not too far off falling. Is that everything?
I'll back off a bit more and shout, "Finish him, sir!"
So
Deb's
serve.
kind of swaying on his feet a little bit. Very bruised. Does not look good at all. And he'll just disappear. He winks out of existence. And where he was standing would be just 4 or 5 jet black feathers drifting slowly to the floor. And 30 feet away on top of the roof, you see him appear again. And the effort kind of puts him down to a knee, and he kind of stands back up again, but just enough strength to let off another short bow attack.
Awesome. Advantage as well.
Advantage. Jeez.
Oh no.
With 3, still couldn't.
I
It's 'cause
know.
he's lost a lot of blood.
He has. He has. It's not in a good way.
So yeah, that's it.
Yeah, you get your bearing, you turned round, your head's swimming, your eyes are blurred. You let loose the arrow and it goes over too high, unfortunately. But I love the description there. Right, so the giant is halted until the end of its turn, right? So it will just stand there, and the frightened looking head will just, it's got panic on its face now. It is just looking at you all. Its eyes streaming with tears. It looks panicked and terrified. And Grodin, you're up.
I feel really bad about killing it now that it's crying. But I failed that initial wisdom check, so I'm going to throw a fireball at it.
You're not noticing this. That's true. Go for it.
I rolled a 3, so I ain't hitting.
No, it just goes up into the air.
That's me done.
Oh, I'm sorry. Sometimes we miss.
Sometimes
Rain.
Was that with advantage?
Oh, did you roll with
It
advantage?
was not with advantage.
Oh, yeah. Let me put it back on you.
It's a 1.
No. No.
What's the opposite of Thomas the Tank Engine?
Right. My turn.
Gordon.
Just in case, I'm just going to move it here. Never know. Take another shot.
Mm-hmm.
That's a 10 with advantage.
Oh no, that's a miss, unfortunately.
Miss. And bonus action, I'm just going to get my Stealth Defender to attack. It's 20.
That's good, yeah.
It's 5 points of force damage. Let's just
Okay.
move.
Yeah, good call. Yeah, chipping away at it. It's looking unsteady on its feet now.
Oh, also just fucked off.
Yes, they are.
It's nowhere near. Yeah, it's my turn.
Okay. Malice.
Part of me wants to be a good person, but part of me wants to be a drow that likes death. Stop. You don't have to fight.
Language he's saying that in.
Just undercommon makes no sense. So I'll just go for undercommon.
Okay. Yeah, you say that in undercommon, and the one panicky looking face hears you addressing it, turns to you and just says, You don't understand a word of it.
It's like, okay, I'm going to apologise to it. I'm sorry, and then I'm going to cast Guiding Bolt.
Okay.
And I have an advantage, don't I? Yes, I do.
You do. I love it when you feel guilty for killing something.
15.
It's a miss, unfortunately. I think just
Okay.
the weight of not wanting to really do this, and just
Decide.
yeah.
Subconsciously, we're all too guilty. We all feel too guilty about killing this thing, and it's why Nick's Shield Guardian is the only thing that hit it. The one thing that doesn't have emotion.
We feel guilty about the amount of times that Thomas has appeared on the goddamn screen.
Oh, that too.
I'm guessing Malice isn't doing Stall isn't doing anything.
No, we're just going to kind of cower together.
Oh. Okay. Darendil's up then if anyone wants to.
Claw.
Oh. Creative, I like it.
That's a miss, isn't it?
That is a miss. But that is a hit. I think this boils down to whether you can kill it before it gets another attack. Really? No. I mean, he breaks the skin barely. There are just scratches across the skin. He doesn't manage to finish it off. I think we're back with Eldith. Who's doing Eldith?
Fine, longbow.
I was about to
Should have been-
volunteer,
should have
but
been
Oh,
me.
you press the button.
Oh,
Okay.
okay. Go on.
well, I pressed it and nothing happened.
No.
There it is.
Eh.
You might need to press it again for advantage. That's a miss.
Just going to open Elder's sheet because it's not letting me do it from there now.
Oh, okay. Oh, maybe it's just slow. That's a hit. Roll damage. Do it from the sheet if it's not. Sorry.
I should not be allowed to roll dice for Eldith or anybody.
Okay. She got. Is that both of them, or is that she got one more?
One more.
That's a hit. Roll damage.
Hooray!
Hooray!
That's better.
It's better indeed. Yeah, they both hit. The first one just seems to strike it in the arm, in the muscle. It doesn't seem to affect it too much, but the second hits it right in between a rib. You see it stumble and the eyes on both heads start to go as if it's losing consciousness, but somehow it fights through it and stays standing. Tink.
Oh, I have a mouthful of dinner. All right, I'll finish it then, and I will go with. Oh, Tink, I've got all of the NPC character sheets open, and I can't find Tink. Because it has to hit magic missile.
Okay. Yeah, roll
Counterspell.
damage.
Oh, do I have to roll each one? Yep, okay. 2 damage.
Okay.
4 damage. More damage.
Okay, how do you want to do this? The first one doesn't put it down, but the second two do.
I'm going to make my little fingers look like a gun and go pew pew pew, and get it in 3 of its eyes.
Okay. Yeah, you hit 1, then 2, then 3 of the eyes, and this thing drops to its knees with just gory eye sockets and the kind of weeping head turns to you, Tink, makes eye contact with its one remaining eye and just says in giant Dansek and it drops to the floor in a pool of blood.
Gesundheit.
Didn't he used to be a good guitarist somewhere?
I don't know. Fight is over. And as you're stood assessing the situation, you see off to the north a unit in formation of 5 Duergar, all with shaved heads and a streak of white hair in the centre, and leading them is a female Duergar, dark white hair. Her face, from the sort of just below her eyes up, has got sort of black makeup on it, making her white eyes look very striking. She's wearing a mixture of sort of chainmail and metal plate armor, and a huge battle axe and a shield. And they're sort of jogging forward towards you as the situation unfolds. Is there anything you'd like to do before they arrive?
Rejoin everyone else.
Hazel, are you muted?
You muted, Hazel.
Don't know why, but my unmute thing keeps being weird, so it looks unmuted to me and it's not. Me and Stall are gonna back up into the stalls and trying to look inconspicuous.
Okay.
I'm just going to lie flat on that roof, bleeding profusely.
Hold my hands up, shouting, "We were just helping! Sorry if we weren't meant to!"
Rain is just gonna try to make herself as discreet as possible, like she's not even there. Just gonna put her pistol away and pull her hood up.
And Jordan's going to look over and just basically ponder why this one specifically had the weird feature of having 2 heads, and just poke around to see if there's anything potentially useful from it, like
Sure.
weird teeth or funky
Sure.
eye. Well, a funky singular eye. Now that the others have been smashed.
Sure. What skill check would you like to use to investigate it? What kind of investigation are you doing?
I suppose the most reasonable one would be a medicine check, even though I'm not very good at it because he's looking at the biological stuff.
Sure. Go for it.
17.
Okay, 17. You examine the giant, and you quickly notice that the head, well, you wouldn't notice now, but the head with an eye left in it seems to be central in the shoulders, as you would expect for any human-shaped creature to have. And this second one, you can see like rips and marks in the skin and actual wounds where it seems almost like the second head has rapidly grown out of it. So you surmise with that roll that this second head was very new and potentially very sudden.
He'll make a small note of that and on a tiny scrap of paper that he will eventually transfer into a separate book when he gets one.
Okay. Okay. The Duergar guards will start to prepare a perimeter and begin to sort of encircle the area. You will see, as well as the 5 that jogged up with her, you'll see others sort of almost blink into existence all around you. We're clearly nearby all along. They suddenly appear, and again form this quite wide cordon around the area. There's no real aggressive moves towards you, but the female Duergar steps forward. Explain yourself. Why are you fighting in the city of Gracklstugh?
You're muted, V.
Muted.
As I'm
You're-
sure witnesses will tell you, this creature was knocking stools over, and I believe he injured one of your men. So we stepped in to stop. We only wished to assist.
So you're claiming self-defense. You killed this thing in self-defense. It attacked. And she glances across to the other guards and nods at them. One of them runs over and checks the body of the one that was killed. Looks across, shakes his head. And others of the guards sort of start moving through the crowd, talking to Duergar. They don't seem to interview anyone that isn't Duergar, but they're going around getting reports of the situation. So you have diffused the violent situation, is your claim, yes?
Yes?
And your business here?
Ship repairs and trade.
Very good. You will understand, we would ask that you do not leave the area while we investigate. My people will ascertain if your story is true. If it is true, then you will be free to go. If it is not true, then you will be executed under the laws of Gracklstugh for violence. Is that clear?
Good.
Good. I'm Captain Blackskull.
Shit.
I am leader of Stone Guard in Gracklstugh. Can you tell me from your point of view what happened here? And why is that man on roof? Did he get hit that far?
Little help, please.
Was a
bit
big
high.
stick.
I can see big pool of blood. And wow, he really did fly quite far. Must have been quite an impact.
I'll go and help him. And Jodin will awkwardly try and help Sevatar down and kind of like look around to see if Malice is around to help and give some healing for him.
She'll want to stay away from the guards, but her and Stall will have kind of nudged forward a bit. So once Seb's on the ground, let me see what spells I've got.
What are you rolling?
Please give me story now.
Yes. Hello, I'm Captain Tink of the. What did you call it? Sloop Doop. I heard someone could name the ship.
I think it was the syllables, wasn't it?
Sloop Doop.
Sloobadoob.
Sloobadoop.
Because it sounds like something they would name a ship.
I'm going to rename this ship.
Feel free. I just needed to say something in the moment.
Captain of the Sloobadoop. And we have quite literally just arrived in the city and are staying at this inn. We left the inn and saw this commotion outside. And when we saw one of your guards fall, we felt it was, and didn't see anyone else approaching, we felt it was best to attempt to intervene to prevent any more damage or loss of life.
Okay. And that is everyone's take on this story.
Yeah, pretty much.
I take it you were attacked also.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm amazed so much blood can fit in a person. It is the wonders of nature. Right. Let me speak with my colleagues, see what the witnesses, the the more credible witnesses have said, and I will get back to you. Do not move. And she wanders off back to the other Duergar who have been talking to some of the stall holders and various others around. You'll see her chatting to them, and they're nodding, very dour faced. One of the guards will run off towards the east upon order, and then Captain Blackskull will come back. She will turn to the guards and just like wave them off. She just literally with her hands, she just waves them off, and they'll turn and leave. The credible witnesses have verified your story. I would like to personally thank you for your services to the city of Blades. You are most welcome here. I wonder if she leans in closely. As outsiders, I wonder if you would be willing to meet me later in the Golbron's lair to discuss a matter.
Oh, absolutely. We're always happy to assist. Just one thing. You said don't move. Can we move now?
Yes,
we've been
you are.
privy?
You are innocent and free to go.
Good.
But I'm interested in your skills if you're willing to offer your services. As outsiders, you are in a unique position that I am not. You are somewhat neutral, and I cannot say more today. But if you would meet me later this evening, I would be willing to discuss a proposal with you. You're clearly capable. You have defeated a stone giant, and only one of you is badly hurt.
My long-term plan was to drown it in my blood, but never mind. It's okay. Yeah, no, that's fine.
This is humor, yes?
Maybe.
I believe
Yes.
so, yes.
I find it very funny, thank you.
Oh, God, we found the fucking Duergar hole.
I
I
have
know,
been
but then I've
watching a
been lazy.
lot of Brooklyn Nine-Nine this weekend.
That joke was hilarious. Thank you.
And you're not tell I'm smiling. So, you're free to go. Are you willing to meet me? Well, if you are, I will be here at 8 o'clock-ish this evening.
Yes.
Right.
I think we've said yes 3 times, but yes.
We'll be there.
Good. Well, you have said it 3 times. It is binding now. Good.
How long is it until 8 o'clock?
What?
It's
It's 4 hours.
oh, that's great. Thank you.
Okay, good. I suggest you get yourselves a water clock if you cannot keep time in your mind. Good day.
Well, now we know it's 4 hours. We can keep 4 hours, but we didn't know what time it was with us. Mouse will not be happy.
We should buy one if they're not expensive. It's a good idea.
Yes.
She will wander off. Well, wander's the wrong word. She will stride off with purpose.
A saunter.
Yeah.
Rain,
Sachet. Sorry.
Rain, do you know, do Duergars name themselves? Because that is a bit of a coincidence for a captain of a guard to have such an intimidating name.
You muted, Nick. Maybe not there.
Sorry, I'm here. I was the other side of Yes, that again, please.
The night of 1,000 mutes.
You've been around Duergar, do you know, do they name themselves? Because Captain Blackskull just seems oddly coincidental for the captain of the guard.
Incidental?
Just, it's very intimidating, and they're in an intimidating position. Or are they named after their profession?
Oh, I think it's just a dwarf thing, isn't it? It's like they just like dramatic names. Some of them end up, or maybe it's the name that brought them to that position. You hear that name, you're thinking, oh, it's someone with respect.
Certainly.
I don't know.
Eldith, what's your last name?
Hi, my name's Fellrunner.
Are you a runner by profession?
I'm a scout, yes.
Oh,
Aye, Rain has a point. We do tend to, families tend to take on same professions. So perhaps Black Skull, perhaps her family were guards or whatever. I don't know. Military.
interesting.
Is it?
Yes, it's
Oh,
a part of your culture, your naming.
I guess so.
In a way, I suppose I'm named after what I am and do.
Oh, how? What's your name then?
You know my name, Tink,
Oh, what's a tink?
as in a tinker.
Ah, I hadn't put that together, if I'm honest.
Yes,
Oh,
well,
yeah.
you're not the smartest of us.
Aye. You're not the kindest of us either, are you?
Just stating a fact.
As am I. So, where to? As you're all discussing this, you will see two giants come into view, single heads, two stone giants, striding purposefully with a single Duergar, kind of almost jogging to keep up with them with their huge strides, and they will start approaching the area that you're in. Off in the distance, you see a second stone giant. He's slightly taller than the others. He's probably approaching 20 foot tall. Absolutely massive. On the picture for you, be easier. I'm not very good at describing. He's
Hazel,
kind
stone giant walk looks like your stall walk.
just more exaggerated. And these two giants will wander up and start lifting the body and carrying it off, and they will look incredibly sad and sorry at the sight around them. Let me just find the art. Sorry, the stone giant stood off in the distance seems bigger and taller, and maybe older. And he has the same grey skin as the other giants, but he seems to be wearing a sort of green wrap around his waist, and his head. He almost seems to have these crystals sticking out of his head. It's almost like they've grown out of the stone. He just observes. He stood there with a staff. He observes as the two giants pick up the body and carry it off. They don't speak to you. They don't say anything unless you say anything to them. Can't find the picture. Sorry, I will find it. And off they go. The tall stone giant with these weird blue crystals growing out of his head, sort of as they approach, just turns and walks in front of them as they wander off through the city. What would you like to do?
Does it look like we can do any shopping, or is the market completely trashed?
No, there's a few stalls, but no, it's most of them are picking the stuff back up. A majority of them aren't harmed. What would you like to look for?
I need the high quality paper and arcane ink.
Okay. So you're having a look around the stalls, seeing what you can find.
In terms of quality paper, I feel like a massive nerd. I'm playing D&D, and I'm a massive Star Trek fan, and I feel like a giant nerd for going, yes, I need paper in my D&D game, please.
Okay, you wander around the stalls. You can see metal armor, leather work, metal work. You don't see any. Unfortunately, you don't see any kind of paper goods on the market. Doesn't mean there isn't any here, but yeah.
Any
Aye.
wood? I'm looking for a longbow. Or wood substitute.
Yeah, there is Zerkwood, which is the Underdark equivalent of. Yeah, you can find bows and such, crossbows, arrows, weapons. But yeah, there's no. These stalls all seem to be practical armor, weapons, bags. There's nothing magical. There's nothing that strikes you as, unfortunately, academic. So you suspect perhaps that kind of thing is somewhere else in the city?
By that logic, I assume there's no interesting items, like of the
Not
magical sort.
You don't see any magical stuff. Some of the metal work is very high quality, and some of it you do see one stall, for example, where they've got a breastplate armor on display, and when customers come up, the vendor got this little green jar with something acrid smelling in, and he will take a pipette, take out the thing, drop a drop of this stuff on some regular metal, and you'll see it sizzle and hiss and melt away. Clearly, it's very strong acid. Then he will do the same on the breastplate, and there is no erosion of the metal.
Is there anyone selling like I guess gemstones? Because we have some that, unless people want to keep, we could sell.
Yeah, I think we should try and trade in as much as we can for gold, unless anybody needs them for materials, spell components or something. But yeah, as much as we can convert into currency, I think is better. We get a price for a longbow.
Sure, yeah. Just one
Please.
second. I've got my big list. So a regular longbow is. Sorry, I should have had this open. I should have known. I didn't think we'd get to 10 o'clock before we finished. I think it is. It is 60 gold pieces here.
60. Ooh, okay. I'm okay for now. That seems a lot. And I ain't going to barter, so...
You take
Thank you.
Darrendel's.
Has he got one?
Yeah, he's got one, and he's got a spear, and he's got his claws, so he's got...
Give it here, big fella. What are you holding
stuff.
on to that for? It's wasted on you.
I just thought you had me carrying things because I'm big. I went through 3 strings before I gave up doing the longbow.
Well, I'd like to try my hand at it if you don't mind.
Of course.
I've forgotten how you give things. Or take things.
I think there is in the inventory.
Yes, a little hand symbol.
Yeah.
Oh, you don't have one. It just has the edit and the bin. Maybe because
Okay. it's because he's an NPC. Okay, you want me to give the longbow to Sevatar?
Yeah,
Okay.
why not? And we have all those knoll spears. Should we give him a few more spears in case he drops them?
Yeah.
He's pretty clumsy, isn't he?
Well,
Mm.
what I'll do, if that's all right, unless you want to chat and finish anything off, is if you all let me know in the week what you want to shop for, I'll make sure it's all ready for you, and we can go to all the various places. So paper and supplies, that kind of thing.
And
If that's
stuff
all
to
right.
sell as well, I guess.
Yeah,
We're able to sell, yeah.
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 I want a little utility shovel or an entrenchment tool so I can start putting together a little plot for the stall on the ship.
Is there such a thing as a gardener's kit?
Yes. But
Lovely.
I want a little entrenchment tool, just like a mini compact shovel that you can fold up with a little pickaxe on the other side of it. Just so it's got multi-purpose. I want to make sure he's got good soil.
You're
It's going to grow up
caducing
big
him.
and strong.
Still can't find that picture. Where has that gone? So weird.
I mean, I know we don't want to spend all our money, but
What's it for if not for spending?
I did consider getting a wheelbarrow, but I think that might be a bit much pushing a mushroom around a wheelbarrow.
I think if we get an opportunity to go into some of the restricted areas of the city, there might be something more worthwhile of our money,
mm.
potions and magical shit. Although that breastplate did seem interesting for whoever wears breastplate, not me, like, but
My suggestion was going to be, do we kit out Derendil?
Yeah, do we make the big bad harder to fight at the end?
we've spent all our money kitting him out.
I love that Hazel just suspects every NPC now. It's just like they all betray us in the end.
Yeah. Well, imagine her face when she realizes it's stool.
No, I'm fully I've accepted that Stall will be the end of Malice. It's going to be like a bait. Yeah, it's going to be a Bates Motel. It's not going to go well. But he will be made stronger by her remains. And she accepts that.
Wow. Kind of tragic and kind of beautiful.
She's very tragic. Everyone's been talking about names, and then like her name is Malice Mortium. Like
Malicious dead?
Yeah, just yeah, horrible things.
That's not the leader guy. That's just the stone giant.
Are there a lot of narwhals down in the Underdark?
Narwhals.
Well, I'm just wondering what he's
A
holding.
narwhal horn.
What? What am I missing?
The club, it looks like the horn.
Oh, it does, doesn't it? Yeah. Well, maybe it is. Maybe it isn't. It's more for you to find out about the culture of stone giants. Well, that's if you want to. I will find the picture of that guy. That's really bugging me now. Where's it gone?
As a warning for Matt, does anyone else feel interested in looking into this? I can't remember what it was called. The intricate requiem something.
Yes.
I completely missed that.
I thought you probably would.
Cool.
So I wouldn't worry about that. That's prepared. Well, it's prepared as, yeah. I've got an idea in my head about what's there.
Well, I'm certainly intrigued.
You know what it's like. You've got a place and you're like, oh, I need like a like cheesy name for it. Matt Mercer likes to give all his places thematic names, doesn't he? Yeah, that may be. I think that's a place that I thought some people might be interested in. So I've already fleshed it out.
Well, it was a very fun session, Matt. It didn't feel particularly low energy.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Good fun.
Yeah, I think everyone's energy picked up, didn't it?
What we
Oh, I
needed.
can take myself off the phones at work.
Oh, well, I guess they start ringing again.
It's 10 o'clock. I'm free.
This is your old job, right? That you don't
Yeah.
do anymore.
I thought it'd be nice.
Shall
What
we?
about being
Shall we?
nice to people?
Shall we get off the Twitch before we start slacking off anyone's previous workplaces?
I don't think we were slagging it off. I was just surprised that I thought you weren't working there anymore. So that's very nice of you. But yes, I will. I will end the Twitch if anyone's watching, which they probably aren't, but might be me tomorrow.
Stop putting
Thanks for
yourself down so
watching.
much.
But no, thanks everyone. That was good.